Well, watch the film, moving on, and trying to find a way to win this next game on the road again. And you know, with the games that are left, we're trying to honor seniors as much as we can with the thoughts of growing and becoming a better program. So obviously disappointed. I've said that over and over and over again, 8 times so far, you know. And so yeah, we're looking forward to fixing it and getting better. So any questions?
Do you feel like you guys are getting better despite the losses? And have you seen it improve?
For me, not good enough. You know, I mean, I think that there are a lot of factors that go into it on us improving as a team, and but it's not good enough. Otherwise, we'd be winning. So
you've had to deal with not having Tanner before, but now with him being done for the year, just talk about how the teams approached it. How Bo's approached it. How are you approaching?
Yeah, I mean, we have to rally around our guys, and you know, we're looking at our quarterback situation right now with Bo and Joe as an open competition, and play the best one, and Cody Wilstead will be in the next 2. So that's what it's come down to right now, where we're at presently. You know, so yeah, we'll see who deserves to be the starter, who deserves to take the first snaps this weekend, and that's going to be established throughout the week.
How's Bo doing health-wise? Is he back to being at full strength?
I mean, I don't know if he's ever been back full strength, but yeah, as much as we can see, there are. I mean, every one of our players have issues that they're banged up here and there, but yeah, it's just still something that we're evaluating, and that factors into the competition part of it too.
So are Coy Detmer and Austin Confensis not factors in the starting quarterback decision?
Yeah, I think Austin is predominantly going to play some. I mean, he has that Wildcat package that he's done, but I think he's made that change over to running back. We made that a while ago, you know, full time, and yeah, and then there's only so many reps, and those are the guys the 3 that I mentioned are the ones. One of those 3 will be taking the first reps.
What will be your criteria to make that choice? What will you look at the most?
Well, the competition and seeing who gets us the best position to score points. I mean, it's production, you know, for us, and there's some guys that haven't really had their shot. You know, we'll see if they deserve it and how well they do leading the offense, you know, but that can be established this week. We felt really comfortable with Joe and his progress that he's made along the way. And same thing goes for Cody. He just hasn't been able to get on the field, you know, but yeah, I think we'll a lot of stuff factors into it. Who's ready to be the guy and who's going to take it, and that's why we're opening it. They have to compete for it. That's not just that position. There's a lot of positions that competition is always open, and that happens to be the status that we're at with that position right now.
So is it kind of a blank slate mentality, or are you also looking at, you know, the pass command of the offense that Bo and Joe have had this season?
All of that. I mean, all of it matters. Only that matters right now is winning this next game, and so everything factors into it. You know, experience versus inexperience, ability to run versus ability to throw, command of the offense. You know, and how they're able to manage the offense. I mean, all that stuff matters.
You had some success the last couple of weeks with the pass game, maybe being a little more pass heavy than you had earlier in the year. But now without Tanner being back there, does that mentality have to shift just because the other guys have different skill sets? Or
no, I mean, the statement was that I made a while back was to be aggressive. I don't know if we had enough big plays offensively to be aggressive, and same thing goes for defense. I don't know if we had enough big plays to make a difference. I mean, we didn't create any turnovers, so obviously it didn't have the same impact defensively as we did the week before. But credit to Fresno State, they didn't take a lot of chances, you know, and I think they've taken care of the football. Very rarely they've turned the ball over in the last games, the most recent games that I've watched on film, and so they're really careful about that, you know. And but there's other ways that we can find a way to be disruptive defensively. And offensively, we just didn't have enough production, not enough points on the board, and not enough big plays compared to the week before. And Yeah, I guess. I said we did, if I were going to go down, we're going to go down swinging. Didn't feel like we took enough swings, so.
Short week, so what do you see out of UNLV? What are you guys kind of preparing for?
Well, I mean, they gave it to Fresno State when we watched them a week ago, you know, and yeah, they're on a roll too. So they're looking to you know, to beat us, and obviously it did something for Fresno beating us. You know, they became bowl eligible and they were really excited. Good credit to them. You know, for us, we just got to find a way to win and compete, and you know, just make it all work this weekend on Friday.
Now that Tanner's season's over, how would you kind of evaluate his performance?
I'll probably have to look at that a little bit more, but obviously look at the numbers. It wasn't good enough, you know. And overall, you're talking about the whole season together, and yeah, we weren't good enough as a team. There's a lot of different places. We're sitting at a horrible record that I'm not proud of, and so, and I don't think it's indicative of the talent that we have on this team.
Typically, when BYU plays at UNLV, it kind of looks like a BYU home game. What does that do for you guys and the players to see that kind of support from the fans on the road?
Well, I've been very thankful of the fans that we have and the ones that showed up to all the games, especially the you know, our home games, and especially being on the road, those that make the effort to be there. And it was a late game in Fresno, and we had a lot of fans there, and it was nice to see them. And I just wish we could send them home winners, you know. And it's been nice to have our fans come support us here at home, and the gratitude is there for our fans. You just need to show it by winning games. I think that's what our fans want to see, and that's what I want to see. So our players, you know, we need to do it together, and coaches and players, we need to find a way to get a win and keep our fans happy.
How's the rush defense right now? UNLV's a team that runs the ball very effectively.
Mm-hmm.
How's your run defense at this point, do you think?
Could always improve, you know. I think it was run per average. I thought we did okay last week. It wasn't great, you know. I'd like to hold them to less yards than that, but they committed to running the ball more and throwing. Fresno State did, and UNLV's going to do the same thing. And they have a really big quarterback that can run downhill, you know, and so it's going to be a challenge for us. But defensively, this should be something that they're looking forward to. You know, a team that's committed to running the ball and trying to basically shove the ball right down their throat. And so it'll make us men. I can tell you that. D-tackle wise, these guys got to be stout and stop the run. They got to be the big factors in this game.
Is the team planning on doing anything this week to honor the victims of the Vegas shooting?
I don't know. I haven't talked to our guys yet about that, you know. And I know that other teams have done that. I can't remember who went. I think it was San Diego State had that game the week after. And we have a lot of guys from Vegas and have a lot of family members from down there. We have so many members down there, you know. So I think there's a lot of things that we could think about. But I think the focus right now is try to win games, and anything that we can do to help in the community. Our guys are always mindful of that. And our players are really taking the initiative to think of others first. And so right now there's nothing specific, but I'm pretty sure our players are consistently thinking about others.
On just the sputtering in the red zone, what can that be attributed to, and what can you do to fix it?
Well, mistakes and penalties can hurt it too, you know, so let's fix those. Those are things that you can control right away with the coaching staff, you know, and player-wise, you just got to make plays. And if you look at what we're trying to do as a team, I think so. There comes a point where you just have to toughen up and get a yard, you know. And we're BYU, and it shouldn't be a problem for us on 4th and 1 to get 1 yard. So.
Do you think KJ will be available this week? Too early
I'm
to say?
hoping. I mean, it's been day to day, and he's a lot better now than he was last week. And last week we had to make a decision on what was best for him, and it made more sense to keep him out. And Squally being 100% would look really good last week, you know. So hopefully we can add KJ to the mix. I don't know exactly, but I have a better feeling about him this week than obviously last week.
Do you feel like Squally may have reestablished himself as an option in the running back position with his performance?
I think there's been so many injuries in that position, so many different reasons why guys aren't playing that it's hard to get any consistency. But I think he's a guy that now has been healthy for a couple of weeks. I think he's starting to feel better with his health and with his abilities, and so As long as he can stay healthy, I think he'll be a guy that we can go to. But there's others in the mix that I think can help us as well.
Back to the quarterback thing, just for clarification. When you're talking about the evaluation for this week and who's going to be the quarterback, do you go into that thinking the quarterback we choose here will be with us as our quarterback the rest of the year, or do you anticipate that being a week-to-week thing where you evaluate that?
Again, all I really care about is winning this game. And so I'm not really thinking about anything other than that right now. And, yeah, that's all. That's all we got to focus on. I'm trying to get our third win. That's the goal right now. And I don't think there's ever a moment where you say, okay, this thing is set in stone, you know. And everyone's got a battle for their positions, and that's established during practice. But again, it's confirmed in the games.
Any other questions?
You touched on this, Kalani, a little bit, but the fourth down conversions have been a struggle this year, and some of those, of course, have been big ones late when you've been trying to rally. But the 4th and 1s, the 4th and shorts have not been consistent. Is it being too tentative, or is it? I mean, does that impact whether you choose to go for it on 4th down?
No, I mean, I want to go for it on 4th and an inch, you know, on 4th and short. I mean, I think we should be able to just do that against 15 guys on the field. There's got to be some plays where you just know you can get it, and then it just becomes a time for an offense to just basically gut it up and make the play, you know. And so that's if it's ever 4th and 1, I'm more inclined to go for it, and I'd like to have our offense meet the demands that I want.